So, hey everybody, it's RDub from RDub's Gaming Channel. I can't talk intro. Anyway, today we're doing an RDub Analyzes, and it's going to be Overwatch gameplay. So this is a new series I wanted to start out on the channel. And we have a submission from Groupswine, and I apologize for it coming out a bit late. It's been crazy busy, so I've been making videos that aren't necessarily easier but get processed faster. So I finally have this one ready to go for you, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'll be critiquing it from a primarily quick play and generally competitive-ish standpoint. It's going to be focused on the quick play or solo queue aspects, because those I have a heavy weighting of experience towards. I know how it feels to solo queue in competitive a lot in Overwatch. So he's playing Widowmaker, so we're going to look at it, and I don't play a lot of Widowmaker myself, but I know how to spot a good and a bad one, and how to try to counter them, and what they do to typically stop me from countering them. So we'll get right into the gameplay here. It's a 15-minute long clip, and let's get right into it. So starting off mid-game, just at the very start it looks like, so the first push onto the point. Right now he's in a decent sightline. You've got a good beat on a few targets. I would maybe be a little more patient with a couple of those snipes, because you can line them up well. You have a pretty good aim generally. So right now there's not a lot to see there. And then there's a soldier who's got a beat on you. So I'd say since you didn't get that snipe, it's probably a good idea to move to a different location, because now they know you're there, and more than just the soldier might know you're there. Also, pay attention to the teammates. So a few of your teammates went down there, so it's probably good to stay back, not push out too much, which you're doing, which is really good. And then, like I said, if you're in the same location too long, you get spotted, you get targeted, and then someone like a soldier can burst you down fairly easily, because in that location it's hard to find a good escape with that hook. Good job getting back in. Like that's what you want to do, is you want to get back in fast. You're with your teammates, which is important. Your tank is there. Now, one of the things I've noticed is you will generally be pushing a sightline that sometimes supports your teams, but like there it was really good because you could see both your teammates and the other team. So you could see that your team was there. You could see that they were around you, so they can take aggro and damage for you while you're up there sniping. So that exchange worked really well. Here you're in a good position for holding the point. You just drop down, which is okay. I would probably get to a different location. I don't know if I would be in the middle of the tanks. That's kind of not where you want to be. As a Widow, you want to be behind your tanks and behind your assault characters. Good idea moving out for the Riptire. Very smart to get away from your team. The Zarya, you're very lucky the Zarya came that way as well, because that let you live. I need to stop saying but yes. Interesting ult timing, because you just took down a few people, so they'd typically be pushing back. You want to more use the ult when they have most, if not all, of their people up, so you can see their routes and what route the team is taking, so you can get a better beat on the team. Now here, I think you may be pushed up a little too far, which might be that the Tracer kind of baiting you, because she's up pretty far, but she's a Tracer, so like that's where she's supposed to be. A good idea to have this long sight line, and again, I would probably try to take a few snipes here and then move, because I hear a Roadhog, and oh, never mind, I hear a soldier. My bad. And that's what you got to be careful about, because they will start to try to flank you, but that is very good avoiding the soldier. So overall, so far the positioning's been fairly good. Target prioritization is fairly good from what I've seen so far. You definitely don't want to be down here right now. You want to get out of here. You want to get out of here because of that. When you're on the ground, especially if you see a few of your teammates go down like that, you're gonna get targeted really fast if you're anywhere near there. Like if they can see you, they're gonna be like, hey, there's the Widow, this is a perfect chance to take her out. So your aim's not bad. You can aim way better than me so far, but try to play it a little bit more around your team, because even if you can't communicate with them, if you play to what they're doing, it'll strengthen the whole team in general. So like the Zarya's calling for a group, but that's, I don't know if you should even, it's probably good that you're just chilling for now. That's not a bad spot to be, and I think this is before contesting was taken off of the top, so you're good there. I would move, yeah. The McCree saw you, so that was good damage on him though. He's almost dead. And then, oh no, the soldier's ulting. You're hidden. That's very, very good. But again, there's no one on the point because the team got taken out. So again, I think you might be playing Widow a tad too aggressively in this type of map. At least on that type of map, it was very aggressive. Your positioning was in places where they could see you easily and get to you easily for the most part. So there's that spot top window, if you've heard of it, by the point where you can get up there and snipe from. So that's a good spot to have as an option. So you want to find like maybe 3 or 4 spots that you know you can have a good line of sight on at least part, if not all of the area you want to target, and be able to see your team. So like, that's a lot to ask sometimes. Sorry for the yawn. Oh my god. But yeah, that's kind of like what you want to do with that. This site, I don't know why you're taking this sight line. It's kind of short. You got the Mercy though. That's good aim. And now you gotta be very careful here. Because yeah, I would move back to the point. I'd go immediately to the point here because they had their team here. So this is a really good flank because the Zarya came in, so you kept engaged, which was really good. This is where things can get troublesome with oh, never mind, you got a Mercy on you. You're good. So it's good your team came out to help you push. I would have backed up personally, but it worked out, so like, hey, whatever. If it works, it works. Let's see here. This is a good spot for Widow generally, as long as you check your flank, which you're doing with that the mine placement, which is another thing I didn't mention. Your mine placement's very good. It covers places where people will go, so trafficked areas, and it covers your flank. So you've been placing the mines fairly well. So here, you've been here for a while and nothing's happened, so I might have moved over onto the pillar on the point just to be able to get more of a wider view. But since they're coming through that door, you're in a good spot right now, especially because of all that attempted push they had. That was a little bit of a... Again, the ult timing isn't perfect, but it's not bad. It's just when your Zarya ults, you know where they are already, so that timing was a little bit off, but very good. Again, with the mine placement where they're going to be, and having that damage is super useful. So the ult, you heard the ult, so I probably would have moved from there fast. You're surviving, so that's impressive. That Roadhog's coming up for... yeah. That was a good movement to get away from the other team and draw a lot of the aggro away from you. I would have completely disengaged there. That's the thing. Like you were at very low health and none of your healers could get to you because you only had a Mercy, I believe. So there I would have completely disengaged and just booked it for a health pack. Because in solo queue you can't rely on your team necessarily, especially in competitive, depending on what team comp they decide to use. And you are in way too deep as a Widow. You only want to be past your tanks very rarely, and you want to get behind them pretty quickly as well. So you want them to be focused on your tanks and your damage dealers while you're a Widow. So you want to be like up here is good because your team's gonna start engaging soon. So you got to pick, and that's really strong because now your team's engaging and you can help them from above. So again, you're rushing some of the snipes. Having a little more patience is probably better, and I get this a lot when people watch me snipe in Destiny and in Overwatch, where you're rushing to get the hit and not being calmer and waiting. Instead of missing 2 shots, you could have landed 1 in the same amount of time type thing. And that little exchange is really good because you were aware of where your team was pushing and where the enemy would likely be, so you flipped one side, took out the Junkrat, and then came back. That hook was very good to get you back out of range, and that's something really important I think you should do more often. I recommend using that ability to create a lot of space to your advantage. Oh, so you heard the McCree ult? Okay. I would have checked around. It didn't seem like it was close to you, but that was good. So the Mercy got the res, so yes, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do, and a beautiful jump snipe there. Like, again, your aim is really good. Really good. Just a tad more patience on a few of the snipes, and it would get you a lot more success. Another very good disengage there. You knew where that pillar was. So maybe it's just a matter of this map either plays more to your strengths or... Oh my goodness. So that was a really good snipe. That was a really good play on your part. And because your team was around you, you didn't take as much of the damage from the opposing team. So that was a really good push with your team and playing off their strengths. And as a solo queue person, myself, that's really important, is to, even though you can't communicate with them, go and engage with them, disengage with them, understand more about how they're going to play once you've had an exchange with the other team. You see how your team plays. If they're aggressive, or if they're very passive, you can tailor your sniping to suit that. So again, very good. This is the final round, I believe, for those of you watching, so this should be good. So this map is interesting for a Widow because it doesn't have a lot of vertical space for her to use that is above the plane of the control point, and the space below is hard to use for sniping. So that was one of the better angles you could have taken, especially because the other team doesn't look like they have anyone with movement abilities except Junkrat. So as long as he wasn't there, you were good to go. That's a very good sight line because your team pushed up onto the point, so you could take the flanking route while everyone's focused on the point, and exactly. You got exactly what Widow's supposed to do, is take out weakened targets, take out healers, take out damage while she has either no aggro or very little aggro. So it's a very good spot as well because you can look along the sight line they're most likely to come through, and exactly, like, they're out of their effective range right there for the most part. Does a cheeky little wall hook there. That's pretty cool. Your Mercy's nice, topping you up. There is that health pack there that you know about if you ever need it. So very good. You seem to have settled down for this game a lot more. You're taking your time. You're taking more advantageous sight lines where you have the ability to control the view. So you can move in and out behind that pillar a lot, and that's very good. And here, where they're starting to set up specifically to target that area, I would move to switch areas or check for flanks like this. So that's very good. So you moved your focus from the right sight line to the control point sight line, which is very good idea because they started pushing, and use the infrasight to help your team out with their entire team up. So that was very good. This Orisa looks like she's going down. Yep. Very nice shot. Very nice shot. Oh, nice. So their whole team's basically been wiped here, except McCree, and he's behind you, and Roadhog saved your booty with the push. That was very nice. So I guess you can get back up there pretty easily, but I wouldn't stand on the control point while you guys have control of it. I would get up to back to where you were or take a different sight line. This might be a little too aggressive because that McCree wants you really badly. Nice snipe on the Junkrat. Ooh, nice bait. So that Roadhog was up there. I don't know if you noticed or not that he was up there, but that was a very good bait that was done. So if you want to more actively do that, I would highly recommend it. It's a very useful tactic in baiting everybody. The Riptire's around, I would get away from Roadhog, but he went for the Pharah, so it's all good. So I would just back right out of there. That was a good decision to move out. Very good placement on this map. You know where you know where Widow is strongest on this map. A little early on the snipe, but doesn't matter, the Roadhog helped you out. So that Roadhog really has started playing kind of as a team with you now. So he's like, okay, this Widow can get kills. I'm gonna play to help them out, and they'll help me out. So this has gotten to be a very good game. started off slow and now you've kind of taken off with the whole positioning and the damage, especially. You're getting those shots because you're a little more patient with it. And Tracer, oh, if you can hit Tracer, you know, more power to you. Yes, you took a defensive stance behind your tanks here, and that's exactly what you want looking at the point, especially during overtime, because then you can do this. You can take out Orisa, and that was a huge get for your team. Tracer's on your flank there, yes. So she didn't go for you, which is weird, but I guess she had another target like Mercy to deal with. So overall, that was very good gameplay. If you played the first round like you played the second and third, you guys probably would have just taken the first two. So that's very important. And of course, Roadhog is playing the game. So that's all for this analysis. Really quickly to sum it up, positioning got better as you went through the match. I would disengage sometimes more frequently because Widow's very good at disengaging and baiting out people. So that's the end of the clip right there. So that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really quickly to sum it up again, the positioning was fairly good near the end. Disengaging and being behind your team are probably the two things I would recommend the most, as well as changing your sight line a little bit more often so that you are not focused down by someone like a Soldier or Tracer who can run a quick flank route after they've found out where you are and that you're staying there. So that can be used as bait. So you stay there, you see them disappear, and then you change locations. And that really throws flankers off as a soldier who likes to try to take out Widows. It really drives me insane where I go, I see her, I get her down low, and then I move in for a flank, and then she's not there, she's in a different sniping spot or with her team. That really puts me in a vulnerable spot and her in an advantageous spot, and usually more times than not I will die there, even if it's not directly from her, but she's baited me into a position where I'm away from my team and she's ended up back with her team or away and I can't see her. So I hope you enjoyed, and Groupswine, I hope this was useful. Let me know what you think, and everyone else, let me know what you think in the description below. I mean in the comments below, in the description below. What am I saying? In the comments below. If you have some gameplay you want me to see, I have had exposure to Overwatch, Destiny, Paladins, games like that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask as well. Just let me know. So for now, thank you guys so much for watching. My name has been Ardub. This is Ardub's gaming channel, and I will see you next time.